Hello and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm the executive producer here, John Bates, and I've got a few pre-show notes for you. First of all, I'd like to thank our $25 tier supporters, Antitonic, Waterflame, Samantha Bates, and Maureen Montee, without whom we wouldn't do much, especially not all the content that we put forward now. I also want to thank all the people that have joined on with us since the, I would say, successful experiment that was Midsummer Night's Stream. If you're interested in that, go check out our YouTube channel, where youtube.com/Senstaku, where we performed the world's first, as far as we're aware, live stream production of a community theater performance of A Midsummer Night's Dream. That sounds like a lot of qualifiers. It's more just because that's the way I talk. Please go enjoy them and give us feedback. Let us know if you'd like to see more of that in the future. If you'd like to support us financially, you can do so on our Patreon page at patreon.com/FSFilms. You can also follow us on Twitter at Final Show Films, or follow me personally at John A. Bates for all future updates and live notifications for our live stream. In the meantime, sit back, relax, enjoy. During the winter of 1927 and 28, officials of the federal government made a strange and secret investigation of certain conditions in the ancient Massachusetts seaport of Innsmouth. The public first learned of it in February, when a vast series of raids and arrests occurred, followed by the deliberate burning and dynamiting, under suitable precautions, of an enormous number of crumbling, worm-eaten, and supposedly empty houses along the abandoned waterfront. Uninquiring souls let this occurrence pass as one of the major clashes in a spasmodic war on liquor. That's the first line of Shadows over Innsmouth. One of the more famous, the most famous, I think, story ever put to paper by H.P. Lovecraft. The reason I read that out right now is because we're about to dive into Call of Cthulhu, the video game based on the tabletop role-playing game based in the world of Lovecraft. Lovecraft was an interesting person, and I say interesting in the way that we typically say interesting nowadays, in that probably not a good person, but an important person. Not even probably. Explicitly not a good person, but an important person at the very least in the realm of literature, in the realm of horror and fiction and storytelling. Hello everybody, welcome to Senstaku Plays. I am, of course, Senstaku, or John, call me whichever. And yeah, I'm getting back into video game streaming, and to open it up, released this past Tuesday, we're going to be playing, when was this past Tuesday? Yes, this past Tuesday, Call of Cthulhu. I've never played any of the other Call of Cthulhu games. I have played this one, just as an FYI, this is not a blind playthrough or first playthrough for me, just because I'd like to be able to finish it and actually get through the thing, but go ahead and do it. Also, let me know if there's if I need to rebalance the audio, either for me or for the game, because it's been a while since I've done this. So, new game. Chapter 1: Pierce Investigations Agency, Boston. Boston, 1924. Edward Pierce, veteran of the First World War, drowns his memories in liquor and sleeping pills. He is now a private detective who has trouble finding a case able to lift him from his torpor. Pierce must find a new case quickly, or risk losing his license. So I've played a lot of, not the video games, but Call of Cthulhu, the tabletop game, the tabletop RPG. And this game appears to be taking certain aspects of that in mechanics. I don't know. When I first heard about it, I thought maybe it was like sort of like the video game equivalent of like what Icewind Dale does for D&D. It's not, but I mean, kind of is. We'll get into that later. Into madness. I am mad, it is a mercy. May the gods pity the man who in his callousness can remain sane to the hideous end. It's a shark. Good to see Left Shark getting his work. Oh, that's us. There it is. Aha. It's stuck under here. Just another day in spooky caverns. Or
in my wake, pulled along. Fate inescapably draws you on.
typically the voices in my head don't echo, so that's probably not a good sign. Oh, it's an orca.
What a putrid offering.
2 orcas. That's a... Huh. It's like a pillar or something. 2 orcas and a shark and then a bunch of giblets. Bunch of giblets.
Don't fight. You have been chosen. Behold. Everything has already been written.
A faceless man.
But perhaps you will attempt to change your destiny.
I hate whiskey.
Well, then why do you drink it?
Married woman runs off with her girlfriend. The husband couldn't understand it.
The husband never understood that his wife had left him. He kept on calling me weeks after the investigation had closed.
A good old story of blackmail in a speakeasy.
The bar owner who hired me didn't like the way I closed this case, but when you're already outside the law, there's not a lot one can do against a private detective who's got proof against you.
Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology.
They had a lot of books that don't have names. Vaklutu Voyages. Hacklet's Voyages. Volumes 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. He's got like 5 of the same volume of the same book. That's interesting.
I should get rid of all this stuff.
Lost and hit by most severe blizzard in years. Snow paralyzing traffic. Ah, good old generic brand whiskey. You shut up.
I wonder why I still take these things?
Trademark sleeping pills. Regular trademark. Use with caution. Descriptive notice. Somniferous. Doctors prescribed them when I returned from the war. They swore they would put an end to the nightmares, but for a while now, their effect has been wearing off. Yeah.
I'm listening.
Are you Edward Pierce, private investigator contracted by the Wentworth Detective Agency?
You called
That's
me, you
correct.
tell me.
Hello, Mr. Pierce. I'm Lucy Sherifield, in charge of investigators over at Wentworth. I'm calling because of a problem with your file. A fire has destroyed some of our documents.
Well, that's
Is that
coincidental.
right?
I'm so very sorry, but I have to collect your personal information yet again.
Okay, so. Sorry. In the Call of Cthulhu tabletop game, which, if you're interested in that, we'll be doing one of those, our Sunday game that's currently Mage. That campaign, or that storyline, will be shifting into Call of Cthulhu next. I'm not sure exactly when that'll be happening, but I'm pretty certain the next storyline we're doing in that is Call of Cthulhu. So, if that's something that interests you, if you want to see the tabletop game played on a live stream, tune in for that. But yeah, the Call of Cthulhu tabletop game uses a D100 system. Basically, all of your stats are percentages of 100, and you roll 2d10 and try to get under that percentage. So right now, our strength is at 40%, our eloquence is at 20%, our spot hidden is 30%, our psychology is 20%, our investigation is 40%, our occultism is 0%, and our medicine is 10%. Worth noting, these two skills can only be upgraded by reading books later on. So, typically, the standard way of making an investigator. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can make an investigator in Call of Cthulhu, but the typical investigator is one that has some knowledge of the occult already, that sort of comes into a situation sort of keyed to be predisposed towards the occult. So I'm kind of interested in making a non-occult run, like someone who just like looks at a book of spells and goes, "What the fuck is this shit?" Slams it shut and throws it over their shoulder. So let's go a skeptic route. We have got a number of points here. Let's put some in the medicine here, and some into our investigation. I'm gonna be an expert investigator. Validate.
Thank you for this information, Mr. Pierce. Our files will soon be up to date. And on a related matter, may I raise a sensitive question?
What's wrong?
As you know, we wish to closely monitor the progress of our contractors. And it would seem you've been accepting fewer new cases.
Work is scarce.
Mr. Pierce, you know as well as I do, there's never been more investigative work than now.
Really, lady?
But are those
Who's the
cases
investigator and who's the secretary?
There would not
Get off my ass.
Show yourself worthy of the Wentworth Detective Agency, and we might keep you on the payroll. Mr. Pierce, are you still...
I'm coming.
You're a strange stripper, but okay. Get in here, get to work.
Sir, I came here on the advice of a person whom I hold in high esteem, and I must say that I expected anything but a drunkard's lair.
Okay, I don't typically pay the extra amount for the abusive stripper. Start
You're
dancing.
free to leave anytime, sir.
Do you know to whom you speak?
Stephen Webster, industrialist and art collector. All of Boston knows you.
Tell me, Mr. Pierce, are you capable of handling a new case, or are you simply a deadbeat inebriate?
If you come to me, it means you're desperate.
Also,
Nobody
it's a really
believes
good
me.
way to get somebody to take
They
a job
take me for an
you.
old fool. Sarah, my little girl.
I want to hire you to
She
investigate
is dead.
something, but I'm going to
Even
belittle you
must know of
first.
her. She was Sarah Hawkins.
The painter? Yes. Everyone knows her work.
The police accuse her of killing her family. They all died in a fire. Sarah, her husband, and Simon, my grandson.
I
Ah,
can't do
yes, the
anything for a
arsonist
woman
that
who's
catches
right there.
themselves in their own
Find
arson.
out the truth. They say she was mad, but I know that's a lie. She would never have done such a thing.
But if you have no proof,
I've brought all that I have. Look. I want you to look carefully at this painting. Tell me all the assumptions that come to mind.
What, did she paint herself not setting her house on fire?
what am I supposed to find?
Tell me if this is the work of madness. Or if, on the contrary, you manage to detect some logic, a rationality to follow so that I may understand it.
Is that all you want from me?
Yes, please.
All right. I'll look at your picture. That's all you've got? The painting?
I placed a file on your desk. It contains everything I have on the affair.
But you didn't talk about an affair. You said this was arson. Evil. But there.
A warehouse on Darkwater. Some sketches of the Hawkins family. Rather thin.
I mean, they could have eaten more. A shipping label. Some of it is unreadable, but I can make out part of the address. Warehouse 36, Darkwater. The police report. It says the fire started in the dining room and claimed the whole family. The police decide on a domestic accident, but they nevertheless insist on Sarah Hawkins' mental frailty. Why? A press cutting. An article written about the marriage of Sarah and Charles Hawkins, a businessman from the island of Darkwater. They live a recluse life with their only son, Simon.
What's this symbol on the man's chest? It's as if Sarah Hawkins breathed a message into it.
So, Mr. Pierce,
I mean, it looks more like game
what do you
concept
make
art
of
to me,
these
but sure, whatever.
elements?
You must tell me if what the police suggest about the mental state of your daughter is true.
No. Sarah had visions. Everyone knew that. She never would have hurt a fly. She only thought she saw things.
Saw things? What do you mean by that?
I never knew what she meant by that. My daughter was an enigmatic figure, Mr. Pierce. You must find out the truth about her life and death.
The police say your daughter might be mentally fragile. Is there any truth to that? No, she just saw visions or thought she saw visions. She wouldn't hurt a fly. You just lied to me. You actively lied to me. Is she mentally fragile? No, she just sees visions. So yes. Is what you're saying.
The meaning could be exactly as it appears. I think your daughter is sending you a message.
That's what I believe, too. It was 3 months ago that I received the call from the police telling me of my daughter's death. And yet a short while after, this painting was delivered to my home. The painting is linked to this case, can't you see? You must find the meaning behind all this.
I mean, you received a painting. Yes, you received a painting after she supposedly died from the warehouse that, as on Darkwater, whatever. That might be connected. The painting itself, however, has literally nothing to do with her setting her house on fire.
Darkwater. Never heard of
Or
the
not
place.
setting her house on fire.
Where is that?
It's a small, remote island off the coast of Boston. Sarah lived there with her son and her husband.
I suppose you want to ship me off there.
Darkwater holds the secret regarding my daughter, Mr. Pierce. You must uncover it.
The sender's label mentions Warehouse 36.
That's right. It came with Sarah's last painting.
And you think your daughter could have been the sender?
That is what you must find out. Go to Darkwater. Find Warehouse 36.
Her husband was a big deal on the island. But the police are sticking to the accident theory. Though they mentioned Sarah's mental state was fragile. I believe you are right, sir. This case is not as simple as it appears.
I am aware of that. I believe there is more to this case than just an
I
accident.
mean, we all know that law enforcement, especially if you ask my Thursday night players, we all know that law enforcement are completely incapable of doing their jobs.
I think I'm beginning to understand.
I'm willing to do anything for my daughter to recover her honor.
Quiet down. I'm on your side. Let's sum things up. An artist dies with her family in a house fire. Your only clue is a sort of promontory painting sent from Darkwater right before her death.
Premonitory.
And the rumors about her supposed
Premonitory.
folly.
Which you don't totally
There's an
deny.
N in the middle of that
Find
word.
that warehouse. Find out the truth regarding Sarah Hawkins' death.
Premonitory.
You'll be
premonitory
handsomely
painting.
compensated.
All right. I'll take the case.
Now you have promotions.
I'll go to Darkwater and look into the death of your daughter.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce.
Premonitions.
I didn't expect any less coming from a man in your
The
situation.
N is pronounced.
Something's queer. But it's not
I
like
mean-
I have a choice.
Yes, I am, but, you know.
Darkwater. I think I've got a book
The learning of medicine.
on the North Atlantic. I'll no doubt find some I used to be an avid reader. The Lost Battalion. Holding your position and obeying orders. That isn't courage.
Well, someone's got a sore spot.
Darkwater is off the coast of Boston. But I've never heard of it. According to this book, it was often mentioned during whale hunting times at the end of the 19th. All I have to do is go to the port. I just hope that I can find a boat able to take me to Darkwater.
We should stop interrupting yourself, Edward. Let's leave. Chapter 2, Darkwater Port. Pierce took the Hawkins case. The cursed artist is accused of having caused the fire that killed her and her family. The only clue she left her father, a disturbing painting. On the shipping label, an address. A warehouse set on the docks of the island of Darkwater. The place seems to be the starting point for Pierce's investigation. So, there are many different ways to go about this game, apparently. There are at least 3 solutions to one of the puzzles that we encounter in this chapter. At least 3, there might be more. So I'm interested. There are aspects of this that will be new to me because I played a very particular way the first time, and I'm going to try to play a different way this time. Also, my green screen keeps fucking up.
We're almost there.
Call of Cthulhu. Well, that's a boat.
Stay on board. There's guys coming to unload.
Ah, so we should stay on the boat while they unload.
Welcome to Darkwater Island, Mr. Pierce.
Would you please do
Why,
the thing
thank
where
you.
your mouth moves correctly with your words?
So, what wind brought you?
Does the Hawkins case mean anything to you?
A sad story that we would all prefer to forget. Charles Hawkins may have been a landlubber, but he was a good man.
And his wife, Sarah Hawkins.
A nice young woman, and a great painter. What a tragedy. You know what? Go have a drink at the Stranded Whale. What you need is a good pick-me-up. Mitchell may not be very welcoming, but his bar holds a surprise for you. As for me, you'll find me at the Harbor Master's office. If it's the Hawkins family that brings you here, I have a pile of documents that should interest you.
Understood. I'm going for a look around the docks.
Thank you, interesting old man.
Prohibition is just a joke around here. That suits me fine. Hey, be careful.
Be careful and watch where you spit.
Let's get him another drink. He's dry.
In my bar, we don't serve troublemakers.
Hold to test strength or hold to test eloquence?
You saw it just like me. That bum deserved a lesson.
Yeah, but he's a regular, and you're not.
I can see that you and I are off to a bad start.
Oh, well.
I'm here for information, not for a fight.
I prefer it that way. Speak then. I reserve the right to answer or not.
The Stranded Whale. I guess this bar has been here a long time.
What can I tell you? I'm a nostalgic sort of guy. The name, it reminds us of the golden age of Darkwater. When our whalers left for long months and came back, sweating and stinking of the oil and flesh of the whales they'd been hunting.
Could you
It
move your
was a tough
shoulders,
time,
please?
all the same.
Ah, but steeped in glory. We've never known such wealth since then.
I always talk like this, with vague shifting of my lower abdomen, but my shoulders locked in place.
What can you tell me about her?
About
We all
who?
knew she was famous on the mainland.
You
for her paintings. Never understood why.
I like how I didn't actually say Sarah
I don't want to
Hawkins'
speak ill
name,
of the dead.
but he knows I'm talking about Sarah Hawkins.
Her style made her famous. How would you describe it? Torture?
Tell me about her.
Yeah?
Who?
Well, it wasn't normal. I mean, for a young woman with a child and all that. We saw them in the papers and we said to ourselves, who can paint such things? Is that how she sees the world?
So they made you feel uncomfortable.
You need to see them for yourself. Make up your own mind.
I've got what I need.
Anything else?
What can you tell me about her?
No,
We all-
damn it.
and-
No, stop it.
I've got
Anything?
Captain Fitzroy told me about a little pick-me-up.
Oh, yeah? That must have been before you came looking for a fight in my bar.
Oh, come on. Because of a little tussle.
Drinking it here is a privilege, and I grant the privilege to whoever I want.
Fine.
Anything else?
Be a prick.
Do you know where this place is? Warehouse 36?
Then again,
Dark
I didn't have, as a player, I had no
The
choice in
Hawkins
that fight,
warehouse.
so...
I see, yeah. If I were you, I wouldn't hang around there.
Why not?
First off, there are rumors. Sailors from around here say you can hear noises coming from the warehouse at night. Screams, that sort of thing.
Screams?
And that's not all. There's the fate of its owners and all the superstitions that go with it. But I'll say no more. Anything else?
I didn't expect to find alcohol on this island. What's the source of this miracle?
You mean who? Our source of supply wouldn't like me to betray them to the first comer.
I'll tell nobody.
She'd know it anyway. Anything else?
That'll be all for now.
Do you like our song?
We're true sirens.
We may not be pros, but we give it all we've got.
That's true. It's a reminder of the time when we were still fishing for whales off Darkwater Island.
What brought whaling to an end?
The whales, of course.
They all disappeared.
You exhausted the stocks.
You could say that, yes. There were fewer and fewer of them.
Until the last, the biggest.
The one of the miraculous catch.
Exactly.
I've never heard this song before.
Only people from here know it. It tells the story of the miraculous catch.
It's a local legend?
Watch what you say, young man.
That catch saved our island.
Ah. Where's the proof?
We're the proof.
Without it, the whole of Darkwater would have died of hunger in 1847.
It's true. Everything happened just as it says in the newspaper report.
I
What
don't believe
report?
everything I read in the
The
newspapers.
one that's framed right behind you. Our grandparents tasted its flesh.
And it was delicious.
That's a weird way to say we ate whale.
I bid you farewell.
I'm just saying.
Good night,
When I say
stranger.
I ate chicken,
long.
I don't say that I tasted its flesh. Even though that's technically true, that's not how we say it. Hello, person.
Nightmares. Can hear things and voices whispering. Will follow its reader
Why
and
do you have
appear
the-
at various locations.
Why do you have the Phyrexian
Gifted with
symbol
its own
scarred into your hand?
consciousness. Until it finds a new reader. Ah, that's it. Maybe we should let him take it. No. No, the risks are too high. It's a book, after all. Pure knowledge.
You look like you belong in a Tim Burton film.
The miraculous catch. Apparently, the most significant event of the last 80 years.
The Chanty. 21st, May 1847. Miraculous catch. The Scylla returns to port to save Darkwater from famine. We'd given up hope. The crew of the Scylla, or what remains of it, returned to Darkwater port late on Tuesday afternoon. The locals immediately rushed to the docks and welcomed the last whaling ship on the island. People were amazed at the sight of the unbelievable catch the brave vessel had on board. Of a size that went beyond that of the most formidable toothed whales, the cetacean that was already being called the miraculous catch covered the whole deck, and parts of it were hanging off over the side of the ship. The surviving sailors told a frightening account of their perilous catch, but also of its meat, unmatched in its quality and plentiful nutritious benefits. There is no doubt that the immense size of this whale will allow numerous inhabitants of Darkwater to feed themselves, bringing an end to the famine from which part of the island was suffering. Warehouse for rent. Mr. Marks is putting his warehouse up for rent from June for fishing, workshop, or storage activities. You can contact him via your favorite newspaper or visit him on the docks. Special evening of the Stranded Whale. To celebrate the return of our brave whalers, all the staff of the Stranded Whale invite you to an exceptional and free tasting event. Come with your family or with friends to taste the miraculous catch. Each person will leave with a bottle of oil, so don't hesitate.
You have no right to treat us like this.
And the doctor, what did he say?
He laughed.
My God.
What's up?
What you looking at, stranger?
I've rarely seen a woman who can hold her liquor so confidently.
What gives you the right to judge me?
Ah, it was a compliment.
So what?
I'm a man
Let
in
me
the
drink,
1800s.
stranger.
Or whatever year this is, I've forgotten already. 1900s? 1800s? Something. I've rarely seen a woman
Charles
who can
Hawkins
drink
was a
liquor.
heavy drinker. And a debtor. Interesting.
Sup. 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 Let's see.
Please, move back. Let the police do their work. Hey,
The blood is just beginning to coagulate.
I'm gonna ignore
It
you,
died
don't
a
worry.
short time ago. Only a specialist would know what killed it.
don't put... The same goes for you, sir. Move along.
Don't treat me like another one of these locals. You're completely overwhelmed, and you could do with reinforcements.
That's awfully presumptuous
What are you
of
thinking? That you can call the National Guard to an island like Darkwater? For a stranded fish? Gosh darn, Mr. Not Like Another One of these locals. Go give your valuable advice somewhere else.
That's
huh?
fair. That's fair.
Now, please, allow me to do my job.
You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming.
Edward Pierce might just be an asshole. Then again, we're playing an asshole, so. Sup, bitch?
The Scylla. It finished up beached at the entrance to the harbor. A souvenir from a more prosperous era. Fishing equipment. Could do with some rust remover.
Toilet. Could do with some rust remover.
I've brought out the Charles Hawkins cargo manifests. They're on the table next to you. But in truth, you're likely to be disappointed. When you're done, come join me on the deck.
Well,
These manifests are signed by Charles Hawkins. But that's all I'll get from them.
only a few dates are still legible. 1890, 1907, and a partial date. The rest of the document is blacked out. Who would want this information to be hidden? The Learning of Medicine. Volume 2. I have learnt of the medicine.
This man and Fitzroy could be twins. What a macabre souvenir.
Macabre. You don't pronounce the N in premonitory, but you pronounce the
What a
R in
macabre
macabre.
souvenir.
What the fuck? It's not macabre, it's macabre. Holy shit, you guys. Fitzroy, your place is falling apart.
I wonder what Captain Fitzroy has got to say about this woman, Cat.
From here, I see everything that goes on in the harbor. The hard-working lives of my sailors, the fights at the stranded whale. Even the antics of these wharf rats don't escape me.
It's you who lays down the law around here.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm just the last serving captain on Darkwater. Tell me what I can do to help you.
Your manifests have been blacked out. They're totally unreadable.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got no idea who did it or why.
Insight
I
check.
don't remember having countersigned anything special enough for someone to hide it.
And why obliterate the dates, as well as the goods stored in the warehouse?
You mean that the dates have some meaning?
I'm surprised Charles Hawkins had goods to store, knowing that whaling stopped in 1847.
I see that you're interested in the history of our island.
I'm an
Indeed,
investigator.
maritime activities ceased altogether at the end of the last century. I imagine that the Hawkins family had other types of contracts.
But you don't know with whom?
No, it was none of my business.
I'm looking for Warehouse 36. Do you know where it is?
Look, it's right there. The warehouse is opposite the jetty. You can't miss it.
Understood.
You know who the building belongs to, don't you?
It belonged to the Hawkins family.
Precisely. Ship owners from father to son.
I think that somebody here wanted me to search this warehouse. I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
Probably won't. Oh look, we turned our back for 2 seconds and they pulled the whale out.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy.
Where do you think you're going?
I thought that the Hawkins case had been closed.
That's true.
I'm just gonna
So
ignore
what are
your
you
question.
doing on guard duty in front of this warehouse?
Who's asking the questions here, the cop or the tourist?
What more can you say about the death of the Hawkins family?
Not much more than what everyone knows. I wasn't on the case. They were all burnt to death, right? Up at their place.
The whole mansion went up in flames.
Don't get it into your head to go wandering around up there. It's dangerous.
What do you mean by that?
The only one left there is old Silas, and the accident has affected him badly. He can be unpredictable, especially if a stranger starts poking around the property.
Is he a danger to the public?
No, he's in his own home. Do yourself a favor. Leave him well alone.
Come on, you could tell me.
No, if it gets out, I'll have serious problems with you-know-who.
How could you be dumb enough to leave the entrance to the warehouses unguarded?
Keep your voice down. Why not go and shout at the cat while you're at it? I don't want to end up with her little knife under my throat.
It's a stiletto, you idiot. And with that smell
I
on your
appreciate
breath,
that.
I don't give you much chance anyway.
You live here?
Why did you do that, huh?
We saw what you did to St. Brendan.
Yeah, we'll teach you to come onto our island and ridicule our protectors.
How can I be the one who defaced your saint? I've just come ashore, you idiots.
That's true. We're as drunk as lords.
You bet. You could have gone by without us seeing you.
Do not rile me. You can hardly stand up.
He's right. We're no match.
Wow.
For the moment. We're annoyed. It's understandable.
There's
These
you,
are
our
simultaneously-
beloved statue, and then those two bozos behind us. Wait, now that I think about it, it's got to be them. There's one of them who's always going back and forth to the statue.
Quieter. That's all we need for them to hear us.
What brings you to dark water?
These are simultaneously the most accommodating, intelligent, and stupid drunkards I've ever seen.
The two guys behind you. What are they guarding?
The bootleggers. Scum.
They're protecting their territory. From whom, I wonder?
They really don't have a choice anyway. They're more scared of Cat than an attack by drunken sailors.
If only they would kill each other.
Well, you don't sound drunk.
This cat you mentioned. Is she their
You
boss?
look drunk, but don't sound
Hold
drunk.
hold on just a minute. We didn't tell you a thing.
Nothing at all.
I've taken enough of your time.
We'll see you later.
Let's go investigate the docks. Oh, look.
There. Hello, old friend.
Do I have any? We're at 2. Aha, 40% now. Validate. Anything in here to spot? No. No. Okay.
St. Brendan, patron saint of sailors and travelers. Desecrated. I can't even say which language it's written in.
Well, well, look who's back.
Did you miss us?
That statue represents your local saint.
What do you mean by local, exactly?
You wouldn't be looking down at us, like all townspeople do.
St. Brendan. He protected
I mean,
whalers
local as
and
in
fishermen
the
like
one
us.
that you worship
Till
here.
those assholes defaced him.
Peculiar house.
Yeah, that's where we live. Our boat.
It's not because it doesn't float anymore that we're going to abandon it.
Isn't it a bit early for alcohol?
We got nothing better to do anyway. There's not much work around here.
Fitzroy gives us a few chores every now and again, but since the whaling station shut down, ain't a lot of jobs left around here.
So we drink.
I've taken enough of your time.
We'll see you later.
Come on, you could tell me. Who's this guy?
No idea. You better keep it shut. What's with you wandering around here like a hungry dog?
We saw you talking to the 2 soaks. Go die of thirst, the lot of you. It'll stink less.
I went to see the statue of St. Brendan.
What makes you think we did it?
We're bootleggers, not savages.
Who do you think defaced the statue?
What do I know? They could have done it by themselves.
The sailors.
Who else, in your opinion? And who's interested?
Kat. She's your boss.
What? You listen through keyholes?
She's the boss, yeah. She says who goes in or not.
Shut up, you dummy. You wanted to know that you also talk too much.
She must be quite intimidating if she can make 2 men like you tremble.
She redid the smile at the last one who wanted to get in.
I hope he had a good dentist.
No, you don't understand. She really cut him a new smile.
But he only smiles with the left cheek.
She sounds frightening, your boss.
And she doesn't like to be talked about behind her back.
I've got to enter the Hawkins warehouse. I guess it's going to be complicated.
No, it's very simple, in fact. Fuck off.
I don't give a damn about your racket. I just want to get into this warehouse.
Now, we don't give a damn about you. Whatever your reason for wanting inside, there's nothing we can do for you.
I bid you gentlemen farewell.
Alright, so the direct route not working. Let's find Kat.
Forget it. Nobody listens to us anyway.
That's no way to treat an out.
You can see that I'm busy, can't you?
You can't understand. You're not sailors.
I can also see that you smile with your left cheek.
Not that again. She will get us into trouble.
What? Another break?
One of those damn sailors came looking for trouble again.
But he won't try again anytime soon. We gave him a good hiding.
So you said to yourselves that after such a feat, you could abandon your post.
It's just a little drink. We taught those guys a lesson.
We'll return right after. It's just that standing guard in this alley makes your throat dry.
That fool Fitzroy can't keep his dogs on a leash.
I'll have to send him a more clear-cut message. I told you to beat it.
Okay, I can't talk to you at all, so that's nice.
You again.
What do you know about the Hawkins warehouse?
If I were you, I wouldn't hang around there.
Why not?
First off, there are rumors. Sailors from around here say you can hear noises coming from the warehouse at night. Screams, that sort of thing.
Screams?
And that's not all. There's the fate of its owners and all the superstitions that go with it. But I'll say no more. Anything else?
I read the article on the miraculous catch. Interesting local folklore.
Don't get it into your head to repeat that round here. It's more than folklore. On that day, the crew of the Scylla caught an exceptional catch. The biggest whale ever caught. They saved Darkwater from famine.
Darkwater?
Charles Hawkins owed you a lot of money. Do you know if he had problems?
I don't know the details, and it's not my business. Money or not, he was always welcome in my bar. The Hawkins family was always much appreciated on the island.
You seem to know Charles Hawkins well. How about his wife, Sarah Hawkins?
Well, she was a local somebody. We all knew she was famous on the mainland for her paintings. Never understood why. Then, I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
Her vision. Was it so terrible?
Way I see it, the truth is really a question of point of view.
What do you mean by that?
Do you still trust the truth after a bottle of whiskey?
I've got what I need.
Anything else?
Nope, not really.
That'll be all for now.
You saw what happened with those sailors. Don't hang around here unless you want trouble with the bootleggers.
This warehouse looks abandoned. Why does it interest them so much?
No doubt a question of territory, but I ain't asking. If you want to know more, go ask the captain.
Good. Thank you. I shall take my leave.
Let's go talk to Fitzroy, see if he can't provide us a solution to this problem.
You're back again. What can I do for you?
Apparently the bootleggers don't want anyone hanging around the warehouses.
They're part of the private property I mentioned earlier.
And yet the place looks abandoned. Why guard the entrance?
As a precaution, I suppose. All the warehouses are more or less interconnected by old sewers.
You mean that there's a way to go from one to the other by tunnel?
I couldn't tell you if it's still the case today for all the warehouses on the island, but I think I can imagine what you've got in mind. You can always visit them if you're not the claustrophobic type.
Alright. Let's see if I can. So there are tunnels I can go through, or let's see if I can figure out a way to get past these bootleggers.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy.
You there?
You again? I told you to beat it.
No need to get worked up.
Well, look who's back.
Can I convince you to go fight a couple of bootleggers?
I have an offer that could interest you.
We're listening.
I need you to keep them busy for a while.
You send us to take the punishment while you go quietly about your business. What's in it for us?
What would convince you to help me?
There's only one thing that'll get us to move.
For sure. Bring us something to drink and we'll take care of the bootleggers.
Oh.
Look what I've got.
A bottle of generic whiskey.
You're a good guy, you. Follow me. Cheers, you jackass.
Oof, I don't feel well.
Hey, where are you going?
Say that again. I hope for your sake that I didn't hear.
No, it's not what you think. It's just that you shouldn't hide your...
Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do do do. Moving on.
Let's see.
Those guards aren't really good at being guards, you know?
Perfect. Ugh, this place stinks. What is the connection between this place and the Sarah Hawkins case?
I'm for my magical reconstruction vision.
What happened here?
Well, someone punched a glass, obviously.
Who has enough money to buy painkillers, but stays in a place like this? It smells as bad as it looks. What is this picture of Charles and Sarah Hawkins doing here? Is this one of Sarah Hawkins' paintings?
Gained 1 CP, you say? Let's go. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get strong. Let's get swole. Alright, time to leave. Bye.
Someone has settled in here.
And whoever it is has something to tell me about the Hawkins case.
How would you know that?
Is there anyone in there? You! Don't move! The Hawkins case has been wound up. Let the dead rest in peace.
Look around you. Someone has settled in here. Can you explain what this painting is doing here?
This strange portrait. Wait, I know it. It was in the Hawkins mansion when we came to investigate the fire.
So you confirm that it was removed from the crime scene. Interesting. I'd like to go and see the mansion now.
Of course. You want to go back along his trail? I'd like to understand how this painting made it to here. Come on. My car's parked down the way. Andrews, would you please shut the door?
The writing in this game is far from stellar.
This guy went right under your nose. God damn it. Her again.
What's up?
This case has nothing to do with you, Baker. Clear the passage or I'll shut you up for obstruction.
Officer Bradley, you've finally grown a pair. Too bad you're too fat to see them down there.
I mean, he's not.
Why, you?
He's not fat.
Come
He's
on,
fairly
keep
well
the
built.
smile. You don't want to force me to widen it.
Okay, I get it. Can we go to the mansion now?
Who the hell are you? What were you doing on my turf?
It seems like
I've
can't
got my
not
eye on
be
you.
on your turf.
We'll meet again.
So, walking,
Is it
I
far,
guess.
this mansion?
Look behind you, at the top of the ridge. You see the building?
Spooky music sting.
That's the Hawkins Mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do.
Chapter 3, Garden of the Hawkins Mansion. Pierce managed to get into the warehouse. The place, thought to be abandoned, revealed some surprises. Signs of recent occupation as well as partly charred painting. Interrupted in his search by Officer Bradley, Pierce convinced him to join his investigation. The police officer is willing to drive the detective to the Hawkins Mansion. Into madness.
Well, here we are, Hawkins Mansion. The place has been abandoned since the fire. There's only old Winchester in his hut.
Your partner, Andrews, warned me against him.
You managed to get something out of that bum? I'll end up asking you for advice.
He talks too much. He inferred that old Silas was slightly unhinged.
That's not far off the mark, I suppose. But kinda unfair at the same time. You know, Silas Winchester has been working for the Hawkins family as far back as I can remember. Charles was like a son to him. The day of the fire, he lost his whole family. So he's got nowhere to go. And, as you'll see, in a way, he's still watching over them. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Or do you want to go up there?
You're the one who looked after the Hawkins case.
Don't think I was trying to hide it. It's just that this discovery shakes my convictions.
That's why you're so keen to find out who removed the painting from the mansion.
Yes. If something escaped us, or if there's been a law enforcement error, then it's up to the police to make good its mistake. Anything else?
Night falls quickly here, and I want to be able to see when we arrive.
I'll go with you, if only to reassure Silas.
You stay here and keep an eye on things.
Okay. But don't get the impression that I'll leave you alone inside the mansion.
Let's look around. Small wooden whale.
Recently fallen. It's as if all life has abandoned the place.
Can I light it on fire? Really not.
Jeepers. Pose prophetic raven.
Fuck jump scares.
1693. This house is much older than it seems, but the architecture seems too recent.
As I get startled, prepare for lots of that. Because even when I know shit's coming, I'm gonna get startled.
The flowers on Sarah Hawkins' grave are fresh.
1892 to 1924. A great artist, affectionate mother, and true friend.
Someone must really hate Charles Hawkins. Poor kid.
(1913 to 1924). So he was only 11 years old when he died. That sucks. Hello, Raven friend.
I'll have to find another entrance.
All boarded up.
This entrance is still in use.
Whoa!
Whoa!
You're trying to force the door, you nosy prick!
Easy, sir, all right? Put down the axe.
You know what we do with rubble like you? We gut them. Dump them into the ocean.
Whoa! You're Mr. Winchester. Lower that axe. Let's talk calmly.
I'll show you how we have it out on Darkwater.
You haven't forgiven yourself. You stay here to honor the memory of the deceased.
That's true. I want no more violence. No more tragedy.
Stop threatening me with an axe.
It's painful to be the last one left.
You don't know how right you are. Understood. I'm listening.
The police report describes a domestic accident, but Stephen Webster has several reasons to believe that this may not be the case.
Webster is as stubborn as an old mule. And I did tell him that we should let the dead rest in peace.
He wants to restore the reputation of his daughter. I just need to see where the fire started.
No, I can't let you in. The mansion isn't safe.
That's why you barricaded the entrance.
That's right.
And this door?
It's locked, and I make sure it stays that way.
No one lives in the mansion, and you don't take care of it anymore. If you have a good reason to be here, I'm listening.
There's vermin. I keep an eye out.
Vermin?
Yeah, that's it. Vermin.
Right. This is what we're going to do. I go inside, and I promise that I'll hunt vermin. Okay with you?
I'm not sure.
If there's nothing else to fear, you can give me that key.
Right. Take the key and do what you have to do. Go on, then. Just to get rid of you.
Let's see what more I can learn from this mansion.
But first,
This gate is locked.
Wonder where it goes. Look everywhere. Look everywhere. Oh, he's got a spare. How lovely. He's got his killing axe and his chopping axe. The one he was holding up there is already covered in blood. So
empty, of course.
We know which one it is. For some reason, I was expecting something to jump out at me. And so I startled myself.
The poor wretch seems to spend the best part of his time isolated from the world. I know a thing or two about solitude myself. Rather Spartan. The caretaker has simple tastes.
Alright. Well, that was fun.
Pierce, shall we enter? Now that you've finished your fun and games with Silas, we can perhaps inspect the mansion.
You're right. Let's go.
I told you to stay at the car.
Let's take a look inside.
I'm coming with you. There's no way I'll leave you alone in there without a watchful eye.
Chapter 3. The Hawkins Mansion. Pierce and Officer Bradley explored the gardens of the Hawkins Mansion. The family lies in the graveyard of the property guarded by Silas Winchester. The old caretaker, still faithful to his employers, keeps watch on the place, armed with his axe. Pierce and Bradley managed to calm him down. What do you mean Pierce and Bradley? Bradley wasn't fucking there. And finally got hold of the key to the Hawkins Mansion. They entered the building, looking for the scene of the fire. Seriously, Pierce managed to calm him down.
Follow me. I know the place. Who left this light on?
Let's get ourselves a little bit of eloquence. Well.
The Last Supper of the Hawkins. What does this tell me?
That's kind of fucked up.
What kind of meat is this?
Some form of demon squid.
This place is for the head of the family, Charles Hawkins. The boy was probably here. Smashed his plate on the floor.
Looks like he didn't want to eat your fucking demon squid.
Sarah Hawkins' plate. Why did she leave it untouched?
Also didn't want to eat the demon squid.
Something happened at this table. An argument?
Pierce, daydreaming again?
Working, officer. This dinner table tells us a lot about the Hawkins family life.
Well, we don't have all day. The scene of the fire is next door. Silas managed to bring the fire under control.
Let's see if I can find something the cops
already too late
missed.
for the Hawkins.
Detective Vision, go!
The child's corpse left a trace. Where are the others? Did it stop at the time of the fire? Did Sarah Hawkins lose one of her shoes? How? They had a fight. Why? If the painting I found on the docks really came from here, how come it didn't burn? Was Charles Hawkins a heavy drinker?
I mean, we know he had a tab, so yes.
Did someone escape the fire?
Alright, so dude was drunk. Mad about this. Fight, fight, fight. Oil lamp smash. Fire set. Kid dead. Someone left.
Blood. This lamp was thrown.
How would there be blood still after the room burnt?
This was a fight.
There was a firefight.
A desperate attempt to flee. And the boy.
The boy played
So,
with
Detective,
army toys.
What do you make of it?
I think that some of your colleagues should turn in their badges. This room is bursting with evidence that seriously contradicts the official inquiry.
Well, of course, Mr. Holmes. Like what?
I found a bottle of whiskey. Empty.
Well, that must have been a loss for you.
No glass. I suspect one of them drank heavily to calm down. Charles, most probably.
That's pretty thin. Who says that bottle hadn't been there for a while?
I can tell where young Simon was, but not his parents. Where were their bodies found?
I can't help you on that one. Charles and Sarah's bodies had already been carried away when I got here.
Without your authorization? By whom?
Marshall, Andrews, Chief West. We never deal with cases like that, you know. So... well...
It would seem at least one person fled the crime scene.
What'd you say?
That mark on the door. Someone's hand slid down there. The left side has no mark. The door was open and that someone left.
For God's sake. I mean, if it's Charles or Sarah, they wouldn't have left their son.
They would rather die in the flames as a family instead of calling for help? I don't buy it.
Oh, yeah?
I was under the impression the fire started around midnight.
Yes, Silas banged on our door around 1 a.m. Poor devil ran so hard he was almost belching his lungs out.
This clock burned before 10 p.m.
That's impossible. What you imply? Silas never would have hurt the Hawkins family. Besides, Dr. Fuller confirmed the hour of death in his report. Your clock must have already have stopped.
Honestly, you don't find that suspicious?
That's troubling, I have to admit. But I trust Silas. And Dr. Fuller is an authoritative figure. The mainland folks are damned envious that he's here with us. A brilliant surgeon, and a friend of the family. I'm sure he took the matter to heart. So, excuse me if I value his opinion over yours.
Ah, yes,
So be
the
it.
opinion of someone
Let's move
close to the crime scene as opposed to the opinion of an impartial third party is definitely.
I suspect this lamp caused the fire.
I can't even figure.
That's what the investigation suggested, too.
But does your report mention the bloodstains? The lamp didn't fall, it was thrown at someone.
For heaven's sakes, no. The report doesn't mention that.
I firmly believe this fire was more than just an accident.
Huh. What's your theory?
I think the Hawkins couple got into a fight.
You sure of that?
There's only one way to be sure.
By opening this door. Look out, fuckers! Oh.
I just ask that you don't disturb anything.
I was hoping there'd be someone on the other side that I could accuse. Wow, I look silly now, don't I?
If Chief West found out about what we're doing, I'd be in serious trouble.
Boo-hoo.
This door is locked.
History of medicine. Something just moved.
These bandages are covered in dried blood. But whose? The lyrics of the drunken sailor. A sea shanty.
Oh, what do you do with a drunken sailor? What do you do with a drunken sailor? What do you do
This
with a
door is
drunken
blocked
sailor?
from the
Early
outside.
in the morning. There's something nearby. Something hidden.
A crowbar. Could prove useful. An original edition of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, dated 1818.
Oh, on that note, and on this library horror sting, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be back in 5-10 minutes. Yeah, 5-10 minutes. Something like that. We're back because I go to the wrong scene. There we go. Alright. Back in the game.
This piano is in disrepair. Looks like the Hawkins kept it more for decoration than for music. Moby Dick, Melville's classic.
Moby Dick,
the
or
epic battle between
the
man
whale.
and whale. Mandatory reading for any whaler, I guess.
Lots of books. Lots of books. There's a globe.
This place was falling apart long before the fire. A book on the first inhabitants of the island. It seems they got here around the 14th century.
The human body, a comparative analysis. What's my medicine at now? 28%?
Greek mythology. Hecate, goddess of the dead, daughter of Tartarus, and mother of Scylla. Darkwater history. This place was settled back in 1692. Like a book on hunting whales, the island's staple diet last century. One of Sarah Hawkins' paintings. Her style sure is recognizable. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Another story about the mysteries of the deep.
So what we're saying is they have a theme.
What could Sarah have done to make this person threaten to call the police?
Dear sir, as you know, I have always held you and your family in high respect. Unfortunately, I can no longer continue to close my eyes on the behavior of your wife. Last week, she again terrified my clientele. I know this means no harm, but you should place her in the care of Dr. Fuller. He alone seems to be able to make her come to her senses. If these disturbances were to recur, believe me that although it would feel like torture, I would be obliged to involve the police. Respectfully yours, Anton Willard. That's my Bostonian accent. That's not my Bostonian accent. See, I know it was just a lightning strike, but I could have sworn there was a face right there for a minute, and it freaked me the fuck out.
The boys' room. A child's fort. From what threat was Simon protecting his world?
A little town of books. I mean, since they had so many copies of the same book.
Tom Sawyer. Mark Twain. Sarah must have read it to him before bed. Sleeping pills. Strong for an 11-year-old boy. What was wrong with this family? What nightmarish vision could have inspired them?
I mean, they clearly had a case
Simon's
of the
troubles went
Lovecraftian
beyond
family horror.
family problems. That kid saw something. Something terrified him. Was Sarah Hawkins interested in the occult? What was she trying to achieve? Despite what happened, they seem to have loved each other.
Fate brought us together, and forever it will bind us. Charles Hawkins scribbled a kind word to his wife.
This ledger lists all of the paintings Sarah Hawkins sold.
January, April, painting for Boston client, $230. Painting for JF, $170. Painting for Boston client, $200. Painting for Boston client, $230. Painting for FS exhibition, $350. Matt to August. January to April, Matt to August. That's weird. I don't know what month Matt is, but painting for JF, $270. Painting for FS exhibition, $410. Painting for Boston, $250. Painting for FS exhibition, $600. Painting for FS exhibition, $820. Painting for FS exhibition, $1160. Painting for Dr. F, $430. Painting for AD, $500 returned. Painting for FS exhibition, $1680. Painting for Dr. F, treatment blank, the Shambler for FS blank gift.
It seems the last one was given for free to a Francis Sanders. I wonder why. Sarah Hawkins' agent was getting worried. Seems she wasn't giving any signs of life.
My very dear Sarah, ever since you left to bury yourself away on that lost island, your art has been attracting increasing numbers of collectors. I beg you to send me some new paintings. The last one, so somber and strange, moving as no other paintings have been, are selling at a premium price. Your percentage of those recent sales is attached. Do not forget your friend who was the first to recognize your genius and display it in the world. Affectionately yours, Maximilian L.
The door is blocked on the other side. Bradley? Is that you? What will her room reveal about her? A barbiturate prescription from a certain Dr. Fuller.
Thomas Fuller, Riverside Institute, Darkwater, Massachusetts. Date of 07/21/24. 75 milligrams of amobarbital sodium to be taken every 4 to 6 hours as required. If attacks become too violent, add 25 milligrams of phenobarbital up to 3 times a day. Do not consume alcohol or any other medication during the period of treatment. Dr. Thomas Fuller, take 2 Dr.
That's a massive dose. Was Sarah violent?
Just so we don't have any locked doors around. Oh.
This padlock is too complicated for me. It's no use. The padlock won't give. Barbiturates. Sarah Hawkins must have been extremely agitated resorting to such a treatment.
Alright, let's go see what's going on over here.
Is anyone there?
Finally, a lantern. Stop burning my fingers. Well, this lantern does seem to have a green fog effect attached to it. That might be concerning. What have we here? It's a painting of me! Well, that's weird. I wonder how she knew what I looked like. I've never met her before in my life. Hello!
You! Stop!
Come back here, villain!
Bradley, did you see which way he went?
Who? I didn't see anyone. I just heard some noise. Are you all right?
A man was hiding on the upper level. He ran when he saw me. He can't be far.
Also, he took a painting of me, which was weird.
I'll cover you.
The fact that there was a painting of me, not the fact that he took it, I assume it has some significance.
This door was closed earlier.
Aha.
Where did he go? As if the bookcase has been moved several times.
Then I assume he went behind the bookcase. Alright.
They look like Celtic runes. Charles must have brought them back from one of his foreign trips. Clearly, Charles Hawkins knew Captain Fitzroy very well. I wonder who the man with the glass... It looks like a freehand map of dark water. Certain areas have been highlighted. I wonder why. The Scylla. It's the boat that was stranded at the entrance to the harbor. This globe seems to have been part of some mechanism. Doesn't work. Seems like this came from a log.
Monday, 24th May, 1847. 42 degrees north, 70 degrees west, Darkwater Island. We sailed north all morning. Captain Hamilton is confident. He says that we'll beat the Orpheus this season. May God be merciful. Sunday, 30th May, 1847. 47 north, 55 west. I preferred it when the whales disappear without trace. With these carcasses, we can no longer ignore their sad fate. I was eating these huge beasts. I told Hamilton that it was bad omen. He doesn't care. Tuesday, 1st June, 1847, 49 north, 61 west. We dropped anchor near a village. The inhabitants say that the waters are red with the blood of the sacred beasts, and to follow them is to defy the gods. I told them that I only feared God Almighty, but in the loneliness of the hold, I'm scared. Friday, 4th June, 1847, 57 north, 51 west. We have sighted a huge whale in the distance. Its size seems to be beyond anything known to man. It sends out an infernal song. Hamilton wants it. Wednesday, 23rd June, 1847, 33 north, 53 west. We've caught it. It's the most grotesque whale I ever laid eyes upon. It will go into memory as the biggest catch ever. Men have died, but we have gained glory. This day will be celebrated for years to come. Tuesday, 29th June, 1847, Darkwater. We have beaten the Orpheus, returned with empty holds. Scylla and Hamilton are only memories.
This Dr. Fuller, was he Sarah Hawkins' therapist?
Charles, I understand your worries, but I assure you that Sarah is in good hands here at the Riverside Institute. It goes without saying that her state requires very specific care and high levels of attention. Her full potential will only be able to express itself if she is placed in a secure environment and surrounded with qualified staff. The decision is yours, of course, but I seem to understand that you are running out of time. Your friend, Thomas Fuller.
It looks like an old seaway map.
Alright. Darkwater.
Looks like the navigational paths described in the... There must be a link with the Seaway map.
33 north, 53 west.
Looks like the navigational paths described in the log.
North, 53 west. Alright, so there's 30, 33 north, roughly. 53 west.
Looks like it worked.
Well done, Pierce.
Chapter 4! Tunnels under the Hawkins mansion. Inside the Hawkins mansion, the scene of the fire revealed its secrets. Pierce and Officer Bradley, now on the trail of a survivor, had undertaken to search the place, looking for proof. When a hooded man leaped into Sarah Hawkins' workshop to steal a painting, detective and police officers set off after him. By following him to the office of Charles Hawkins, they discovered a secret passage. Pierce and Bradley entered the tunnels under the mansion.
Secret passage. Under the manor. It's like a detective novel. That guy must have already gotten far.
Yeah. And he had a direct means of 3 seats.
He had a direct means of 3 seats.
Look.
Did Charles Hawkins use this place? Who were the others?
Excuse me while I cough up a lung.
What is this mask supposed to represent? Whatever Charles Hawkins hid here, he didn't want it in his house. This piece of cloth is unmistakably from a dress. Was Sarah Hawkins here? This symbol, what does it mean? A disfigured saint. What does it mean?
I assume it means that someone doesn't like that saint. And shove!
Of course.
There's tunnels all over this island. Given the size of this cave, there's gotta be other entrances.
The passage continues further down. Might as well start with that.
I ain't gonna squeeze in there. I'll find another way. If possible, I prefer not to ruin my uniform.
Fine, fine. Go look for another entrance. I'll try my luck down below. Some kind of dream catcher. If I touch it, it'll turn to dust. These paintings must be several centuries old. This monstrous creature must be an allegory. These people lying down, are they dead? Are they asleep? These buildings seem to have come out of the water. Time has weakened these structures. I don't have time to search them all. It looks like animal oil, but certainly not whale.
Some form of oil. Some form of not whale oil.
What's going on here?
Piers!
Keep your voice down. We're not alone.
Good God. What have you got me into?
You can always leave, dude.
We'll see. I'll go on. Try to go down on your side.
Yeah, there's a passage. I'll meet you at the bottom.
Locked.
Locked gate over here.
A mass grave.
Sort of pit over here. I seem to be alone in this room.
A table for sacrifice?
There's no one here. Alright, let's do this. Okay, literally where the fuck did you come from? Bye! And we're back here. Remember this?
I got it.
And... Shark!
Okay. I can't breathe. What's happening?
Panic attack, panic attack, panic attack.
Is it my turn?
Yes. It is time. You will soon be one of us. If your body and mind are ready.
I dream of it every night. I have constant visions. I am ready.
Good enough. Prove it to us.
It's like in my dream.
Similar, but so different.
It seems to have been used recently. Probably some sort of ritual.
Also, I just want to point out that that thing said, the cultist left it behind when he left with other hodded men. H-O-D-D-E-D instead of H-O-O-D-E-D.
I can't read Latin.
Just wanted to point that out. Oh, there's a boat down there. Look at that boat. What are in these boxes? I wonder.
You who sleeps, accept this dream
Ya Cthulhu Nithsiha Fitag.
Grant him your flesh and accept his, so that his body...
I feel him.
Shh. You are gifted indeed. Not another word. Let him pass through every part of me. More sacred flesh. You who sleep. We pray for your return into the kingdom of the earth.
It looks like a kind of deep coma. What could this ritual have done to them?
Coma, you say?
We are ready for the ceremony. What about your protege?
His awakening is complete. He will join you shortly.
I'm gonna go this way while you guys do that.
Bradley, what are you doing here?
I'm getting an intense feeling of deja vu.
Seemed up to no good.
Except you've got a face. So that's different.
What in the world is this?
An intruder!
Oh, shit.
Way to go, officer.
Don't move! Police! Don't move! I won't hesitate.
Bradley, get back.
Get
Bradley,
back.
can you not see that he has
asked for
octopus for an arm?
Charles, you shouldn't have seen this. Ah!
Well, he's dead. I should probably leave. I'll be going now. Don't mind me. I am no one important.
It's all caving in. I need to get out of here.
On my way out. Yeah, get that 50. Run! Man, that guy's got one hell of a punch. Well, I'm dead too, I guess.
My leg.
Ow. Ooh. Better off than you. My brain.
Light. At last.
My brain. Oh God, no! Chapter 5. We're blasting through these chapters, man. Riverside Institute. Pierce and Officer Bradley followed the intruder to the secret meeting place of a cult set in a network of underground caves right underneath the Hawkins Manor. They witnessed a strange ceremony led by Charles Hawkins, very much alive. Bradley tried to arrest him, but Hawkins, whose body displayed various mutations, disemboweled the police officer. As he tried to escape from him, Pierce found himself prisoner of a rockfall. Rushed to the Riverside Institute. He's in a critical state. Why am I awake? My hand doesn't seem to be working.
He's having a seizure.
He will survive. Strong subject.
There, he's opening his eyes.
You saved him, Fuller.
I can't get up.
Don't move, Pierce. You can certainly say that you gave us a scare.
You're dead. I saw you die.
What did you do to me? Undo these straps.
Whoa, go easy, my friend.
You were dead. He killed you.
Are you sure he's better?
He was dead. Me too. We were dead. What are you doing?
I'm sorry, my friend.
What? No!
I mean, I don't know about the "we were dead" part, but he was definitely dead. All of his insides were pulled out of him.
What happened to me? Where?
Mr. Sanders, you have to come with us.
No, please. I can't leave here.
You got no choice, Sanders, and neither do we.
No, you don't understand. If I go out, he'll see me. No! No!
You're leaving this cell.
Please. I don't want him to find me.
Well, that's not comforting at all. I'm just gonna sit back down. Oh, good. I'm in a hospital. I'm limping in a hospital. Oh, hey, the door's open. Well, I guess I'll just leave.
They tracked and hunted me, pursued me right into their dreams. They scribbled all over their maps in the wake of my lonely wanderings.
Okay.
No sea is dark enough to hide the color of my blood. No wind strong enough to scatter my dreams.
You see, we finally hit the Lovecraftian part of the Lovecraftian horror.
When the last of them rises up, you will choose. I will not be here to bear witness to it, because you will have released me. But the earth will resound to your cries, or theirs. Awaken and free me.
You there. Wake up. Come on, stand up. We don't have much time.
Hello.
Can you stand up?
Who are you?
Obviously.
A friend of Ethan Bradley. It was he who told me that you had been interned here.
Wait. Bradley is really alive? I don't understand. You filled me so full of drugs I can't distinguish dream from reality.
Please believe that I have nothing to do with these disgraceful treatments. Look, I don't have time to explain everything. I'm not really supposed to be here. And the same goes for you, according to Ethan. You must leave as soon as possible, and as unobtrusively as possible. I've brought you your clothes. Let me go ahead. We'll meet upstairs.
Wait a minute. I saw the nurses at work on a patient. It wouldn't be good for me to get caught.
You must avoid them at all costs. If someone found out that I released you from your room, I'd never find work in a hospital again.
So nice of you to worry about me like that.
Do not be unpleasant, Mr. Pierce.
Why not? I've been trapped in a mental asylum.
There are 2 men standing guard near the stairs. It's the only way to the floor above. I shall try to distract them, and get at least one to come with me. All you need to do is to follow me as soon as the way is free.
Understood. What does this mean? What did they inject him with? Am I in an asylum?
What was your first clue, genius?
What did he write about the painting?
That they're cursed?
Why the strange symbol repeated over and over? Sarah. Sarah Hawkins is on this list of authorized visitors.
Am I in an asylum? No fucking shit.
If I don't get out of here, I'll end up like him. Poor wretch.
Dr. Colden, I would like to say that I'm surprised to see you, but we all know that your curiosity will be your ruin.
That sounds like a threat, Doctor.
These people need care. You keep them in this terrible place as if...
Go back upstairs where your patients are waiting for you to treat them. As for you, gentlemen, do not disappoint me anymore. No one enters or leaves.
Yes, Doctor.
Now it's the stealth section.
I'll have to find a way of getting rid of those two
For all of
myself.
you people that, for all of you people that enjoyed Outlast, we have our very own stealth section here in this game.
The machine is working again, but the control wheels haven't been put back on.
I was just going to the storage room. I can bring them to you.
No, Dr. Fuller doesn't want us touching the...
Good God. What could this machine be used for? What is going on here?
According to his record, the patient seems to be suffering from psychosis. He gouged his own eyes out in an attack of delirium. Francis Sanders.
It's an ammeter. I didn't expect to see one on this little rock. Have I activated anything? The corpse is complete. Whose are these limbs? Is there a connection between this corpse and the machine? Worse and worse. Vats of rotten flesh? An elaborate electrical system? Like a dumb pulp novel. What's the connection between this meat and the electrical installation?
Raw meat. I like to feast on your flesh.
Zoology, esotericism, mineralogy.
Esotericism.
Sarah Hawkins.
Fuck.
She was a patient here.
Sarah Hawkins was interned at her side for fits of insanity a while before death. She wasn't at her first attempt with the fire in the mansion.
That Dr. Fuller again.
A document attesting to the fact that Irene Sanders' wife, Frances Sanders, had her husband interned after he showed grave signs of madness.
Anatomy, anthropology, nothing surprising.
Wait for this patroller to go by.
It's done. Now for the others.
Not eat it. They must know that it is not good.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, not 6. 4, 5. Just got a few days to go. Yeah, that's it. 4 days at most. No more.
If I do not stop, he does not catch me.
You. Yeah, you there.
He
Come
does
here.
not call.
I don't know.
What do you want?
Sleep. That's all.
Sleep. You don't want to leave?
No. Have you seen the storm that's brewing? I'm fine here. Except for one problem.
You want sleeping pills, right?
Yeah. And in exchange, I can make noise. Lots of noise.
You'll draw the guards to your cell to allow me to escape.
So, you in? Find something to make me sleep, and I'll take care of the guards for you.
I'll find you some pills.
Go look in the storage room. There must be sleeping pills there.
Locked. Exactly what I need.
Battery of medicine.
A control wheel to mount on a plumbing system. It's locked.
Sneaking around. Stealing their keys. Flipping switches.
Theoretically, I've only got one lever to push. The door is blocked on the other side. The green gas leaves from here, and it runs through the whole building.
Picking locks. Don't really need to be picked,
Perfect.
but it's fun to open doors. Note staff, last week's incident caused significant damage to the infrastructure, putting a stop to current experiments. This is unacceptable. From now on, the wheels to operate the gas stopcocks must be kept in the storage room after each use. Moreover, you must keep the register of use up to date. Oh, really? You don't want me turning wheels and fucking with the pipes, you say?
Perfect.
Don't notice that the door just opened.
With these chains on your wrist, you can't escape. Where do they keep their sleeping pills? Scopolamine, morphine, my new friend's sleeping pills.
Never didn't have it. While I'm here.
This valve controls the pressure.
Oh, no, no, we want it high pressure. Get that pressure up.
Now for the next step.
Dr. Fuller, I've repaired your machine as best I can. However, the piping has been damaged and I fear the gas is escaping. I cannot do any more in such a short time. All I can do is warn you, if the equipment is put under too much pressure, there is a risk of explosion. Z. Allen, mechanic. An explosion, you say? Messing with the pipes, you say?
It's impossible to break this chain with my bare hands. A duct.
Pressure is high, you say? Claustrophobia, you say? Bolt cutters, you say? Okay. Let's see what happens if I blow the pipes up.
This lever must turn on the gas machine. I've got to hide before the guards see me.
Who did this? Is somebody here?
Well, I guess we'll go in here. Oh, hello, friend. You seem like you're having a bad day.
Doctor, is that you? Don't you worry about the doctor. Right now, he'll have plenty to keep him busy with his precious machine. It gives us time to get away. I'll undo you.
Get away? Get away where? I can't go anywhere. It'll find me, like it found me here. You're mistaken about the beast. Don't stay with me, or you'll end up the same way.
You're Sanders, aren't you? I heard you from my cell. What did they do to you? What does Fuller want with you?
The doctor? You think it's the doctor who scares me? The doctor wants to heal me. But he's the one who's crazy. He wants to restore my sight. He wants to give me back my eyes. And yet I told him that I didn't want him. I do not want to see it anymore. The real culprit is Sarah. Her and her accursed paintings.
You're kidding me. You're talking about Sarah Hawkins.
The one and only. The legendary. There is no artist more enlightened or cursed than Sarah Hawkins.
In her office, I saw signs of a ritual, perhaps an invocation. These things, that's what makes you say she's cursed.
You're wrong. It was not an invocation, but a revocation. But she failed. And that's what counts.
What's going on this island?
I'm so sorry. that we should never have met.
What are you talking about?
Destiny! It has trapped you. Don't let it see you, or you won't be able to escape it. Don't look at it. That's how it finds you.
What finds me?
Sarah Hawkins' visitor. The Shambler.
Sanders, pull yourself together.
Without her, it's no longer possible to save me. No!
Sanders! What the hell? I got it.
That's fun. All right, it's time to leave now.
This is insane. What killed him?
Don't know, don't care, leaving now. Get me the fuck out! Bye. I'm gone. Nope. Cough, 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 cough. Get me out of here. And
Damn.
I passed out in the worst possible place.
The gas! Oh. My head.
Later. We need to move on.
Chapter 6. The Hawkins Mansion. Pierce woke up in an asylum installed in the cellars of the Riverside Institute. He met Dr. Colton, a female friend of Bradley, who helped him to escape. Wandering through the corridors of this place where Dr. Fuller reigned supreme, Pierce was able to talk to a man called Francis Sanders. Pierce was able to talk to before dying in full view of the detective, he accused Sarah Hawkins of being the cause of his torments. Pierce finally left the accursed building accompanied by Bradley and Colton. The companions in misfortune decide to use the Hawkins Mansion as a hideout.
Who goes there? That nightmare again. I need a drink.
Aha. I'm now an expert at strength.
What you say is true.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Like shit.
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
Technically, a phantasm.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
What I'm sure of now is that the Hawkins case isn't just an accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact that Charles Hawkins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
That's what he would have you believe.
I have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
I'd remember that.
Why would he fake his own death? Do you think he covered up his wife's murder?
That's possible.
Seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
Bradley, what do you remember?
I don't understand your question.
The night we went into the Hawkins mansion. You don't seem to remember the tunnels and what occurred there.
No memory of going down any tunnel. No, we were in the manor, then,
Then what?
The rest is quite blurry. I don't recall how I came back home.
And then?
I went to visit you at the hospital, and called on Marie's help to get you released.
And you don't remember the events of the tunnel?
I don't. Let's talk about something else.
Well, at least you don't have to remember you dying.
I heard you talking earlier.
Why am I not surprised?
I get the impression you two don't get along.
Intrusive and not very clever. Anyway, let's get back to the business at hand.
I have flashbacks. They haunt me.
What did they do to you?
Lots of
stuff. There was that Dr. Fuller and a nurse. Blood everywhere. My legs, the pain, I couldn't bear it. I was screaming. They injected me with something. I woke up at the Institute. Bradley was there.
And how you scared us. You seemed demented.
You likely woke up during the anesthesia. No wonder those memories haunt you. What in God's name were they doing to you?
What happened afterwards?
When I woke up the second time, I was in a padded cell. That's where you found me, Doctor. After you released me, I got a good look at what's in store for the patients of the Riverside Institute. Hallucinogenic gas pumped into the cells. An infernal machine. Horrific medical experiments.
Impossible. Dr. Fuller would never do such a thing.
You say
You should
impossible,
believe it,
I was
Ethan.
fucking there.
What Mr. Pierce saw is precisely what I've been trying to prove. Did you discover anything else?
I found a file bearing Sarah Hawkins' name in the Institute's basement.
It makes sense. A powerful family like the Hawkins had the means to hide such a disgrace.
But everyone knows the Fullers have been taking care of the Hawkins for at least a generation. And all were aware of Mrs. Hawkins' fragility.
Perhaps, but no one would allow a psychiatric internment.
From what I read in the file, Fuller used her as a subject of his experiments.
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins, subjects of Dr. Fuller. Why those two?
Given the energy he pours into Riverside, I presume it was Fuller's creation.
His father's, to be correct. He was a surgeon on board the Scylla. He founded the hospital in 1904 with funds from the Hawkins family before he died and his son Thomas Fuller took over.
Two families inextricably linked.
Most island families are that way. Captain Fitzroy's father was also a seaman aboard the Scylla.
Powerful families dominating everything.
Yes, and as you could tell, Dr. Fuller is like some crazed emperor.
He wouldn't be happy if he knew we were snooping around.
I know the risks. I don't fear him. Do you wish to know anything else?
Dr. Fuller seems to be leaving a trail of corpses. Not to mention those strange machines, chains, and tools of all kind.
Yes. I've been telling you that Fuller uses his patients as guinea pigs.
What I saw was more akin to torture than medicine.
Do you even hear what you're saying? Dr. Fuller is highly respected.
It's the truth, Ethan. And I'll prove it to you. I'm listening, Mr. Pierce.
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins, and that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
I didn't see what, but something was there, with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
He's right. We can't ignore the truth.
Let's tell her the truth.
Drive her mad.
Better madness than ignorance. Very well. I'll go to see Francis.
That might not be a true statement.
Perhaps
though.
I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
Alright, well, with the game saving there, we're going to go ahead and take that time to go ahead and call an end to this week's game. Thanks for tuning in. As we're getting back into video game streaming here, I'm going to be trying to do more of this kind of thing on the channel. You know, I started out streaming video games. I'd like to do more of that just because it's fun and I enjoy it. And hopefully you guys enjoy it too. Yeah, thanks for checking this out. Excuse me. Thanks for watching. This will be going up on YouTube, and if you're watching on YouTube, thanks for tuning in. And let us know what you think. If you want, if there's any games that you would like to see people play, let us know. I'm gonna try to do more in addition to just me playing games here. I'm gonna try to figure out ways to get like Austin and them back into it, and our folks that are across the world in on this kind of thing some more. So just working on stuff. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.